Stepping in to your awesometicity can be nerve-wracking and a little scary, but so worth it in the long run. And you're going, okay, Sarah, what the heck? What the heck? Awesometicity? You're making up words now. What are you talking about today? So today's broadcast is about finding what I like to call awesometicity. And I'm going to tell you where this word comes from in just a second here. But let me just say, okay, so in a nutshell, awesometicity is what makes you unique as an individual and how those little unique parts can show up in your business, and how allowing that to show up in your business and really embracing what makes you unique as a music educator, as a piano teacher, as a voice teacher, as an online music course creator. If you can embrace those aspects of your life, of your personality, and really step into them and show up in them every week, it's going to be a turning point for you. So I'm going to share a little bit about that turning point that I've experienced, and I'm going to tell you where the heck that this word comes from in just a minute here. So welcome to the broadcast. Hi, hey there, Bethany. Good morning, you all. Welcome to another Wednesday here on the coaching page. If you've never been here before, my name is Sarah Campbell, and I am a music business coach. I work with music studio owners and online music business creators so that you can find your awesometicity and step into what makes you really unique as an educator and allow that to show up in your business. Because when that happens, magic occurs and we are able to connect with the people that we truly love to work with. We're able to find the systems and the tools that actually work with our brain, and we're able to create a business that feels authentic. And an authentic business is a fun business to run, my friends. So welcome to the broadcast. Hey there, Pete. Nice to see you. I see also Debbie's tuning in. Hey, if you guys are tuning in live right now, make sure that you say hello and let me know where you're tuning in from today. And let me know, have you found your awesometicity yet? Or are you just confused because of this made-up word that I'm tossing around today? So here's what we're going to do today. I'm going to talk about 3 different ways that you can find your awesometicity and really own it in your business, and how that is going to impact the way that you run your business. So we're going to go through 3 tips this afternoon, at afternoon/morning. We go live every Wednesday here at noon Eastern, so I'm never sure whether to call that morning or afternoon. Although technically it's afternoon, but you know. Hey there, Jimmy. Nice to see you. Good to see you. All right. So the topic of the day is finding your awesometicity. We're going to go through 3 different tips with that. And I have some cool stuff for you guys here today. I have set up the bot with a little inspirational blog post that I'm going to send you that I wrote a few weeks back, and it's something that I think is it's really nice to get a little boost in your step. If you're having a rough day, if you feel like you're having a hard time showing up and being yourself in your business, then I want you to drop me an awesome below. And the Coach Sarah bot, she's my chat bot here on Facebook, she is going to send you a little message, and you're going to respond to her again with the word awesome, and she's going to send you this inspirational blog post. She's going to also send you some information about an upcoming course that I have that's going to be running this fall. So make sure you drop an awesome below, and she'll get you that information. And if this if this message resonates with you, my challenge with you today is to make sure that you put this message out into the world for your other teacher friends, because if we can all step into being unique individuals in our businesses, we are going to be so much better for it, because then we're really going to be able to tap into the people we want to work with, and there's going to be, it's going to allow us to find the students that are really going to connect with you. And it's going to allow your friend who teaches down the street to connect with students that really connect with them. So if you would be so kind as to send this broadcast to them right now, that would be amazing. If you have a music teacher group that you're a part of, if you meet with a local group, or maybe you have a Facebook group that you're a part of, if you could share that message with them, that'd be amazing. Thanks so much. All right, I see a lot of awesomes being dropped below. Deborah, nice to see you. Very good. All right, so let's get to the good stuff, right? Okay, so The topic of the day is awesometicity. What the heck? Okay, so this word, I'm going to share a little story about how this word came about because I think it's kind of funny. Sorry if I'm going to stop and take some sips of tea today. I'm recovering from a cold, as a lot of people are in this area. It really hit pretty nasty. Is it hitting in your area too, guys? I tell you what, the kids have been back to school for like a little over a month now, and the petri dish has started. Okay, so awesometicity. This word came about. I was on a coaching call with one of my coaches. Yes, I work with two. I have two people that I work with, Molly Mahoney and also Michelle Marquette DeVoe. I work with business coach and a Facebook Live coach. They're amazing people. And so I was on a coaching call. I was a group call with people, and we were practicing our unique value proposition with it, which is, you've probably heard of me mention this in previous broadcasts. And if you haven't, make sure that you drop the word awesome below and we can chat more about what that means. So we were talking about our UVP statements, and I was giving mine. And in the process, I wanted to say the word authenticity because I felt like I was under pressure. It was kind of silly. I was trying to go super fast. And I stumbled over my words. And it sounded like instead of authenticity, I said awesometicity. And somebody pointed that out to me, and they were like, dude, this word is like so perfect for you. You totally need to use this in your business. It makes a lot of sense with what you help people do. And so I was like, okay, yeah, let's take a look at this. So authenticity is something that's really important to me, being your authentic self in your personal life, being your authentic self in your business life, and bringing your best self forward in all aspects. And so awesometicity, I use the word awesome a lot. Sorry, not sorry. And so I thought, well, if we combine those two words, makes a heck of a lot of sense. So awesometicity, in my mind, are the parts of you, the parts of your personality, the parts of, what you like to do as a person, that make you unique. It's the awesome stuff that you bring to the world. It's the awesome stuff that you bring into your studio. It's the awesome stuff that shows up in the way that you develop your online course for music students or music teachers. It's the things that make you unique, right? And if we can step into those things, we have, part of our authentic self showing up in our business. So that's what I call awesometicity. And awesometicity is something that it feels sometimes like it's a little hard to find. So those of you who are tuning in live or later on, I want you to tell me what is one aspect about you that you think makes you kind of awesome and that it shows up in your business. Maybe it's something that their students know about. It's something that your clients know about. What is this something about you that shows up in your business that's kind of awesome? I want you to drop that below and we'll chat about it. Okay, so I have 3 tips for you about how you can learn to step into that authentic awesomeness of yourself and curate that in your business so that it actually works for you. Oftentimes we are too afraid to be ourselves in our business because we feel like we have to be viewed as professionals. I have to be professional in my business. You can be professional and be yourself. There is nothing that is going to prevent you from being seen as a professional and still being who you are as an individual. I can be silly. I can laugh. I can say silly things. I can make funny faces. I can use silly words in my business, and my students and my clients still understand who I am, right? So here are 3 tips for you guys. We're going to start with number 1 right now. And this is the hardest one, so I put it first. Oh, yay, Laura. Laura says, yes, it's hard to find. Sometimes I think, doesn't everybody do ... right? Yeah, right? Doesn't everybody do this? That's how you know that, like, yeah, that's part of, my authentic awesomeness, and that's something that I should embrace. So the first step is giving yourself permission to be yourself, right? Now, I'm not talking about like maybe the self that you are with like just a very small handful of people. We know that we all have like aspects of ourselves that are really only going to come out with like the people that we 100% trust. And that's not what I'm talking about, right? I want to be super clear about that. But what I am talking about is, when you're showing up at a family gathering, when you're showing up with your friends, and you're going into social settings, like those aspects of your personality are allowed to come out in your business. So you have to give yourself permission to embrace that part. So for instance, okay, I'll give you a little part that shows up in my studio a lot. I love Harry Potter. And, if I wanted to be coming across as like super professional, maybe I wouldn't talk about that with my adult students. I wouldn't talk about that with my kids. But see these little earrings that I have going on right now? Oh, good. They're focusing. Yay. If you guys know what that symbol is, you get bonus points. You're in the club. So give yourself permission to be who you are in your business. And so the first thing that you can do is like kind of toot your own horn, right? Okay, so if you have a hobby that you're really into, you can talk about it in your business. Hey, I love knitting. So why don't you talk about, hey, this is the knitting project that I'm working on, or something like that. And why is this important? Because it allows our clients and our students to be their authentic selves too. And it allows us to create this deeper human connection. Because if we can step into what, those moments when we're really comfortable and we're smiling and we're happy and we're enjoying things in our life, then we get closer to like the learning zone. We get closer to being comfortable with ourselves and allowing ourselves to relax and take a breath. So I want you to see if you can give yourself permission to be who you are in your business. So toot your own horn, talk about the things that you love, talk about what makes you amazing as a teacher. Like if you're super duper good at teaching composing, you need to be talking about that more. Don't hide it away and just wait for that perfect student to come around. No, you need to like shout that from the rooftops and like really step into that, because guess what? There is somebody out there who's looking for a piano teacher or a voice teacher or a ukulele teacher who can teach them how to compose, who can teach them that, those songs that they've like written out in a little journal somewhere are important. And they're never going to know it's you unless you step into that, unless you give yourself permission to be that person. Not just every once in a while, but all the time. Hey, Jimmy, toot toot. I love it. That's great. So I want you guys to think for a second, those of you who are watching, I would love you to think about one aspect that you're going to lean into, that you're going to give yourself permission to show up in your business. It might be music related. It might be non-music related. What are you going to allow yourself to show up with this week? I want you to comment below and let me know. Okay, the second way that we can step into our awesometicity in our business, if we're feeling kind of stuck and we're like, there's nothing that makes me special. There's nothing that I'm really awesome at. Okay, I get that, right? Because it's often really hard to see what your skills are because they come so naturally to you. And you think, just like what Laura said, sometimes I think, doesn't everybody do ... right? Doesn't everybody do that? That doesn't make me special. Well, guess what? That thing that comes so easily to you, that is just like you can step into that and without even thinking, and that you can just do it. That is a superpower. That is a skill that really needs to be celebrated in your business and in your life. So if you don't know what those skills are and you really feel like, I don't really have anything that makes me stand out, I don't have anything that like is my superpower, then it's time to get some feedback. And if you feel like, there's nothing that really makes my studio stand out, there's nothing that makes this online course that I created like really stand out, I'm going to challenge you on that. Hold your feet to the fire, man. You need to step out and get some feedback from people. So the first people that I would look for is I would look at my clients and I would ask for feedback from them. I would ask for them to, and be really intentional with your questions. How has our time together influenced you in your journey in music? And just ask them that, right? See what they say, because they actually may point out some things that would be mind-blowing to you, that you'd never realize, like, that's your superpower. So I didn't realize, like, that. So for me, I'm blah. It's hard to toot your own horn sometimes, right? I found out from my clients that one of my superpowers was really individualizing for them and being able to connect with people on a really deep level, because I can stop and see you for where you are right now, not for where you think you should be, not for where somebody else thinks you should be, but to see you and meet you where you are today. That's just something I do. It's something I've always done, and I didn't think of it as something that was, like, unique, right? So this is something that that I got feedback from over the years, and that feedback kept showing up, and then I was like, oh, I guess that is kind of a superpower. I guess that is something that I need to celebrate and that I need to tap into in my business and tell people, like, hey, one of the things that you're going to get when you work with me is that I'm going to see you right where you are today. And we're going to talk about where you are, and we're going to figure out where you want to go. But I'm not going to, like, look out into the future and only see you for, like, what your potential self would be. No, I'm going to see the awesome stuff that's right here in front of me. And we're going to celebrate that, and we're going to connect on that level. So you need to, if you don't know what those things are, you need to reach out to your clients and ask them about their experience, right? Or reach out to your friends and family and get some honest opinions from them about what is it that makes you unique as an individual. I see some great answers below. Rebecca says the more I accompany people, the more I realize how badass it is to be a collaborative accompanist. Oh my gosh, yes, because that skill is not something that, like, shows up for everybody. It is a skill that takes a lot of time to develop, and just because you can play the piano doesn't mean you're an accompanist, right? I hear my cat downstairs. If she comes up to visit us today, it'll be fun. Okay, anyway, Jimmy says, I'm gonna have to think, what's my superpower, right? Hey, Jimmy, we're going to talk all about that in the branding boot camp, my friend. I cannot wait to help you discover those superpowers. It's going to be great. Deborah says, my superpower, the ability to be flexible and make boring activities more fun on the spur of the moment, changing gears in the middle of a lesson to fit a need. Deborah, that is an awesome superpower. Because, and I, that is something that I have to work pretty hard with, because sometimes I get so focused on, like, a specific thing that I'm trying to teach a student and a lesson that I might have trouble shifting gears. So that's a pretty cool superpower. I am loving all the thumbs up and hearts that I'm seeing, like, fly across the screen this morning, guys. Thank you so much. And Rebecca's like, preach. Thank you, sister. Thank you. All right. So we're going to recap real quick. So the first step is to give yourself permission. If you missed this, it's to allow yourself to toot your own horn. Because if you allow yourself and give yourself permission, you're going to be able to reach that somebody, that client, that student who needs you, because you're going to be able to connect with them because of the awesometicity that you have. So you have to give yourself permission first to allow that out into the world. That's the first step. The second step is, if you feel like you can't find it and you're like, I have no idea what makes me unique, no idea what makes me awesome as an individual, then you need to take a moment and get some feedback. So, and I just, even if you do think you know what makes you awesome, get that feedback anyway, because you may find some really interesting stuff there, my friends. You may find things that are highlighted that you had no idea was important. I think about one of my students who has trouble connecting with others, and I had no idea that when he was showing up every week, he was getting more out of his 45-minute piano lesson than he was getting out of going to occupational therapies. because he and I were able to connect on such a good level, because I'm able to see him for where he is and not force him to where he needs to be. So I didn't realize that was such an amazing thing for him until I got feedback from his mom. And I wouldn't have gotten that feedback if I didn't think to ask. Okay, so moving on to the third aspect, right? The third aspect is to get some outside perspectives. Okay, so yeah, I know that you're like, wait, you just said get feedback. Okay, well, feedback means the people that we're working with, right? Or the people that we show up with like every day. So talking about friends and family, talking about like the clients that we work with on a weekly basis. That's a great place to get feedback because they actually see us showing up in business every week. And they see us in person. Now, when I'm saying get an outside perspective, I'm talking about somebody who's never been inside of your business. So they haven't been to your studio, they haven't been to your website, they haven't been to your Facebook page, they haven't seen all the things, right? So if we don't know whether or not we are stepping into our own awesometicity, it's really helpful to get that outside perspective to see somebody else's view of how we are presenting ourselves. And that's why I have 2 coaches. Because it's really hard to see what we're putting out there from the inside sometimes. So it helps to get a set of fresh eyes on your content, and to have somebody kind of walk through, hey, what does it look like when I go to my website? Like, what does it look like from the perspective of a prospective client who like makes their way to you, right? What does that look like? And is what makes me unique as an individual are my areas of awesometicity actually showing up in the communications that I'm sending out, in the emails that I'm sending out to my email list, in the blog posts that I am making to my readers, in the Facebook Lives that I'm doing for my followers. Like, how am I showing up in a way that actually taps in to those superpowers? Or am I sometimes forgetting to lean into that? So that's where that outside perspective can be super important. So so I'm going to pause for a second here, and I see some people have contributed with some of the things that they feel makes them awesome. Yay, keep doing that. Tell me what makes you awesome. Where are you stepping into your awesometicity? How do you step into that in your business? Inquiring minds want to know. And then other questions would be, have you asked for feedback lately? Have you gotten feedback from your clients that shed some light on some skills that, you don't think are that important, but actually in reality, these skills are super important and people are getting a lot out of them. But sometimes you forget to celebrate that, or you forget to put that into your website copy, or you forget to make posts that tap into that superpower, right? I want you to tell me, how are you showing up with your awesometicity in your business? Have you reached out for feedback from your clients in the past 6 months? And if you haven't, and you need help knowing how to do that, I want you to drop a help below, and we'll chat. We can talk about how you can do that. And then the third thing, are you getting an outside perspective? Do you have another professional or somebody who's never been in your business taking a look from the outside and telling you okay, well, this part of your process makes a lot of sense. Oh, okay, this part of your website makes a lot of sense, and this makes me want to click on this, and this speaks to me. Are you getting that outside perspective? If you're not, and you're struggling to reach the people that you want to reach, then it's time to think about looking for that outside perspective. Where are you going to find that? Are you going to ask for help in a forum, in a business forum? Are you going to ask for help from somebody who is an expert in some social media area or website copy or something like that? You need to, if you're struggling in that, get an outside perspective. Okay, good. I see some really great things here. Rebecca says, I talk to my younger teachers about what skills they feel great about and what they feel needs work. Rebecca, that's awesome because you're fostering that, you're fostering awesometicity in your teachers in your studio, which is awesome because Rebecca owns a kick butt multi-teacher studio down in Orlando. Heather says, I'm a really good encourager and I make yummy snacks for clients and myself as a studio perk. Dude, the snacks that you make are amazing. I love watching your snack posts. They are super cool. Okay, so those are my words of encouragement to you guys today. And I want to mention, hey, at the top of the broadcast, I said, I've got a little thing set up for you guys today. If like stepping into your awesometicity makes you feel a little nervous sometimes, I have an encouragement post for you, and I'd really like to get this to you today. So I want you to drop, Rebecca, that's so funny. I like that hashtag snack goals. Awesome. So I do say the word awesome a lot, don't I? Oh. I want you to drop an awesome below, and the chatbot she's Coach Sarah Bot. Yeah, that's her name, right? She's going to message you here on Facebook, and you're going to have to message her back with the word awesome one more time. And she's going to just deliver a little blog post that I wrote a few weeks ago, and it has some words of encouragement for you. And, you know, if you're ever feeling like, oh, I'm like just struggling showing up and being myself in my business, I want you to go read that post. I want you to bookmark it, and I want you to read it because I wrote those words for you. They were inspired by my girl, Brene Brown. Because I love her and she's amazing. And if you've never read anything by her, you need to go look it up. I think I've linked some of her books in that post. So I want you to drop an awesome below and get a hold of that. And I want you guys to know, if you need some outside perspective, I've got a great opportunity coming for you guys. And like actually, yeah, next week. Next week, the Branding Bootcamp starts on Friday and it runs for a month. It's the last time I'm going to run it this year. And then it's not going to show up until the spring. So if you are on the fence about knowing how to embrace this part of your awesometicity in your business and like how to show up in your business in a way that feels super good, that taps into all these superpowers that you have, that taps into the people that you want to work with, then you need to grab a hold of it. The early bird is going to expire on Friday. The Coach Sarah Bot will send you the information about that. I would love to help you. I only have 5 more spots left. So if you are on the fence and you're not sure if you're like, what the heck is branding? Trust me, it is something that if you haven't looked into the branding in your business and or you know, in your studio business and your online course, this is something that you need to do. Jimmy's like, I can't wait for it to start. Jimmy, I'm so glad that you're going to join us this time around. If anybody here has taken the course before, they can attest to what we work on, and it's a really great way to show up in your business. It's going to be a very worthwhile investment. So you can get the information from the bot, or show up every Wednesday here at noon on the coaching page, where I go live and I share business mindset and awesometicity tips for music studio owners and online music business creators. That's what I'm here for every single Wednesday. So glad that you guys showed up with me today. Thanks for all the love and the hearts and the thumbs up and all that good stuff. I hope that you find your awesometicity this week. And if you need help with that, reach out, because that's what I'm here for. All right, all. I'm going to sign off. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you have a fantastic week, and I can't wait to hear about what makes you awesome. All right, guys. I'll see you next Wednesday. And in the meantime, stay creative and stay you.